YouTube, this is the start of part 4 of the Grand Day Oot video, which I'm now going back and overdubbing because it turns out I forgot to do an introduction for part 4 as well. So we've been up at Taylor's talking. The last one is just... The audio's... It's quite funny though. It's like at the end of the last video when Taylor's like, I don't know how much of this audio is going to be usable because there's a lot of guitar going on. It's like because Scott was just going bam, blasting it out. But to be fair, me and Taylor are shouting at each other, so you can kind of hear me because the camera's on my head, and you can hear Taylor because he's shouting at me. While Scott has his amp up nice and loud, blasting out stuff. So this is part 4 now. Still at Taylor's. It's definitely going to have 5 parts. The last part might be like an hour long as well. I don't know what's going on here. Where are we at just now? Oh, I can't see. Okay, so enjoy this, and thanks for not unsubscribing yet, but you can ignore these videos. It's in a sensible world I would have made these the membership thing, but I haven't bothered doing that yet. So you get these free just now then. Enjoy. Some great stories though. What a Grand Day Oot it was. Enjoy.
Just like, just how you can turn the volume down. No, the single pickup guitar thing, you kind of.
No, there's something just so unique.
There is. I mean, but it's that thing about you start. Is it Phil X talks about? It's like it's not because there's no magnets pulling, no other magnets pulling it. Might be something to do with it. Also, you get the fact that it's solid wood in there, so maybe you don't have a hole in it. I don't know.
Jared James. Jared James Nicol. That did. Aye. Well, he talks about how because he's left-handed and plays right-handed, and because of that, he just always found the pick really awkward. And he was talking about how he can really dig in because there's no pickup there. Right. But I watched a million interviews with him. The Epiphone signature model, the Old Glory, and then he.
Oh, I know the one you mean. Yes, I know the guy you mean.
I think they're marvellous looking things, right? But he did all these interviews and Andertons and all these things where he's like, yeah, and you don't need a neck pickup, and you just turn this down and you can get that, and if you just adjust, and everything he's saying is absolutely bang on. But then there came a point where I noticed that every single interview, gig, promo that he's doing, he's now not playing that signature. He's got like some really tasty. He's got like he's got a 52 red oversprayed Les Paul P90 stuff, and it's got 2 pickups, and he's flicking to the neck all the time. And he's got Dorothy, the one that was, it's like the gold top, the body was like recovered for the cellar of a house that went through a storm. And then one of the guys at Gibson like made him an accurate neck for it and stuff. So he's got like a wee stable of like amazing guitars that he plays.
But he does use the neck pickup, I noticed that.
He'd use it all the time.
But the guitars without them are just amazing.
Aye.
Yeah. You do have 3 sounds though. My Shocking Bird has 1 single coil pickup and a volume.
And no tone.
No tone, not even a tone. But you don't have a tremolo. It's like, see the thing is, I've got what's the one I've got? The Raider, the Westro Raider's just got a volume, but it's got a tremolo. See, because that's all you've got. That's how I started using the tremolo, because I'm in Nelson. It's like that whole thing about can I not have a neck pickup? You do notice that you can sort of play a bit more here and finger it a bit different, and you can kind of go there. Not.
It's got a real aliveness about it, kind of unique sound. It's all about that bounce sound. You can't get an X sound. You do it.
I'd argue that is deeper than a neck pickup at full tone anyway. It's just it's missing a bit of the kind of intelligibility. And again, but especially with I think that I've get into that woman tone thing.
Well, there you go. If you'd asked me, I couldn't say it was happier. Is this the neck pickup or the bridge pickup? Well, that's the neck pickup. Obviously.
Yeah, there is a thing. There's an unspoken thing there. I had a loan of my pals. He's got a Gibson Junior. I think it's like a 2016 or something like that. And just fucking great, man. Just like having a play, and it's like just stripping away all the other options, going right, okay.
Yeah.
And then I made one of these wee Instagram videos, and all it was me doing the most stereotypical thing you can do in a Les Paul Junior, which was 10,000 views within an hour.
Right.
It get picked up by the algorithm somehow, and I was like, just went for went to the toilet and made a cup of tea or something. Come back, 10k people, and all these random Filipino people are at me. And then it's funny because if you go on my Instagram, whenever I can be bothered uploading these wee guitar videos, it's like 27 views, 40 views, 10k. Aye.
In case of getting that magic thing that beats the algorithm, whatever
Getting
it
off
is.
at the right time or something. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah. I just get 10 views in the first minute and everyone likes it. Suddenly it just goes woodoomf. I'm bound to get one of them at some point.
Well, I noticed playing someone else's material helps. Aye.
Yeah.
I'm sure some guys down here have got stories about Leslie West from Mountain being in Killy on a night out and stuff like that.
Such a good guitarist.
Aye. And singer.
Mm.
I was like, was this
Been on
before
many
he?
myself.
Eh?
I've been on many myself.
Alright.
I used to come down here quite a lot. I used to go to one of the local ones. Who we don't know.
Alright.
You know, Jade.
Mhm.
The dude, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So we used to do down to Fanny's all the fuck. Still doing tattoos and shit.
Yep. Not far from here. No, Jade and my sister were at school together. So.
No, she's
I
a
don't
nice
want
lassie,
to. I don't want to be like
No,
giving out
we're
that.
on good terms. She's a
Aye.
lovely lassie.
I don't want to be like totally pushing that stereotype that Killy's a kind of small inbred place, but I can literally hear the banjo playing in the background as we're bringing it up.
I've not really liked it.
No, but I mean, it's a small place, but I mean, you've got tattoos and stuff, so it's like you're probably likely to know the tattoo
It's
artist.
everybody else in Killy now. It's,
Yeah.
more, it's like it's more original. No, we have tattoos. And more.
Yeah.
So I'll just be unique.
All the people that I met at the time, I'm still mates with. I still talk to Billy McCrory. He's in Spain. You know him? Billy and
Yeah.
Scott Scurry doing the funny.
Yeah, I still see Scott kicking about, but
Yeah.
doesn't work there anymore. My fiance works for Fan Games later, and strange. Don't drink anymore. It's still never out the place. It's quite weird. That's what I do
The
my week,
last time I was in it's when the stage was the other way around.
Yep.
It was at the other side of the bar where you walked in the side door and you were at the stage.
Which
It wasn't
I
the
used
stage,
it was
the
the
front
flare.
of the toilet.
I used to find it a bit intimidating. You just like come through and some dude, the won't get filled again, is blasting you in the ear.
Yeah.
But now the gig's on the other side, and it's definitely not the same to either to be there or to play.
Yeah.
The one I really hate is if I'm playing there and I'm next to the fire exit, and then you open at half time you go and have a break and go out and have a fag or a vape or whatever, and then you'll just get pissed people walking through the fire.
Yeah,
And like I've got the me the bass player, I've got helixes and hundred cables and stuff to the floor. Pain. It's tedious.
I took a gig down there and we were a colours band and they done AC/DC colours and I done no Angus solos in front of the guys.
Sacrilege.
It's amazing.
Surprised you're still alive.
Live bands on a Friday night Fanny the Gaslights. It
It's
was
amazing
like
because you stomp to do that biker stomp and you play AC/DC. So
Aye.
everybody starts doing this wee march thing.
That-
and then
aye, it's
I break out with a solo, it's not Angus.
aye. Because see the thing is, they would have had those songs on the jukebox all fucking week.
Yeah.
And then you come in and do it, and it's like not one of them a guitar player, but they go, huh? Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
It's such a good thing.
I the funniest
Some
funniest story.
musicians down here, Alan, do you know Alan?
Aye.
Menzel?
Aye. Oh no,
Fucking great
but
guitarist.
local legend.
Yeah.
Aye, for sure. What was that? There was the funniest story. It's two dead funny stories about prominent local cover bands playing fannies that I would like to. I'll kind of tell them now. One of them was the Penetrations, right?
God,
But-
that's just it, yeah.
yeah, they're still on the go occasionally, man.
Cavity
But
search.
Paul, the Pens,
Yeah.
they were doing Immigrant Song, and then the riff starts, and I'm guessing it would have been Geordie that was singing, on the crutch.
Yeah.
He kind of propped himself up, getting ready for that high note, and then just as it's getting to that point, Paul had apparently had like a lamb vindaloo and like 15 pints of Guinness the night before, and had dropped a fucking really deadly fart that had just been kind of simmering below the surface,
Oh, dear.
and then, but supposedly then. I wish I could have been there for that one. Somebody else told me it. And the other funny one, this is one of these ones that's it's kind of funny and kind of depends on what side of the fence you're on. Apparently some guy was in one night doing something like extended. Somebody described it to me as like a Steve Vai solo.
Yeah.
I just the idea I'm getting from it is it was just the guy hadn't really read the room.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? But he's like going for this solo, and because the amps used to be next to the front door, while he's like standing there in the front like that, some old guy just walked by to get outside for a fag, pulled the cable out in the way. And at first I heard that, and I'm like, oh, if that was me, I would have been raging that guy. And then you're like, but I wasn't he? So it's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. Depends what you were doing, I suppose.
Yeah.
aye.
I played some really good gigs down there, really fun ones. I have some photographs of me. The last gig I played down there, I had this really woman who was old enough to know better. Started dancing for me while I was trying to play the gig at my side of the stage. They noticed that this was happening and totally took the cunt right out of me. So I had this wee old woman dancing for me, being all provocative and all that, trying to be. And up to her, and up with me. What do you call it, Stevens? Up of dinners here.
Something like that. I don't know.
She was a crazy woman. But anyway, she danced for the whole gig. From the start to the finish.
Must have been good then.
Right in front of me. No, she was terrible.
No, I mean, you must have been.
I know I wasn't great either. She put me off. It was like trying to eat with somebody. No.
It's the thing I'm constantly struggling with is I play in a wedding band, so I get paid a fair amount of money to play
That's
folk
good.
at the weekend.
Yeah.
But the way that your average punter views a musician is some weird commodity in the corner room. We were playing Folsom Prison Blues at the end of our first set a couple of weeks ago. So I'm trying to do all my kind of country blues licks. And as I'm doing this guy comes out, he's like, mate, and I'm like, and I'm kind of looking back, I'm kind of trying to go like this, but I'm so engaged in what I'm doing that my mouth wasn't working properly, so he came over and went, mate, and I was going, apparently I just kind of went, I'm playing! I shouted, I'm playing at the guy, and then it was like, he went, and now to that guy's credit, it's the only time this has ever happened, he came up and apologised and went, I'm so sorry, I realised I was interrupting you, and we had a laugh about it, because he was like, what a prick I was there. He said, I'm playing, and I went, but mate! Like, dude, come up in like 90 seconds.
Yeah,
See what
yeah.
you fucking say. He was requesting a bit of Bruce Springsteen, and I was like, mate, see, since you came up and actually apologised, I'll play it first.
Right.
At the top of the second set. It better be the one that's in the set, by the way. It better be Dancing in the Dark, or you're fucked.
I turned up for a gig down in a place in the Borders, and it turned out to be like a big fucking Orange Lodge we walked in. There was a big queen as soon as we walked in. And it was we were a 12-piece ska band at the time. If we turned round and the stage was the size of this room, a 12-piece, right? It was like 2 or 3 double beds joined together,
Right.
bases, and it all moved and stuff like that. So I thought what I'll do is I'll step down off to the edge of the stage, just to the side of the PA, and I'll play the gig down there. So this is the fuck's sake. So I'm down there playing the gig, and I came to a point where I was to play the big solo of the night. So I'm halfway through that, and a wee woman, unaware, walked right up to me as I'm playing the solo, asked me where the toilet was. She leaned in. Excuse me, son, where's the toilet? And I'm like, fuck, I played the solo. And I actually managed to tell her. Then we're doing the business. What the fuck's going on with that? In the corner, he's talking to a woman while I'm playing the guitar, and that's what it was. Where's the toilet, son? And then she realised I was playing the guitar, and she was like, oh, sorry.
Again, it was one of the, see if it was a bit where I'm just doing a bit of kind of choppy rhythm stuff, I can actually still have the conversation if I miss a beat.
They picked the worst time.
No, and it's worse when they do it to the bass player because he's trying to hold that down, you know what I mean? And he's too nice to say fuck off. He just goes, oh, how can I help you? Whereas I don't have that problem. The best one we've had, we talk about it all the time, is again the concept non-musicians have got that if you're a guy with a guitar or you're a band, you just know all the songs. So
Yes.
somebody come up with like, you know, we go out there all the time. It's, you know, you sometimes get asked for things like, I don't know, Shania Twain.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you know, I was like, well, unfortunately we don't know that one, but we'll probably learn that. It's a good song. Good riffs in it and stuff. The best one though was a guy at a wedding, a really, really camp guy as well, had to come up and say to the singer of the band, he's like, do you know it's raining men? And Chris went, and kind of looked at us and went, no, fucking no, it's raining. And he went, no, sorry pal, we don't know it. And he goes, oh, it's rain. And then he's like, what am I meant to do in that situation? Go, oh, now that you've sung it in my face, like half a bar, I know that
The whole song.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like 4 individual guys got to go and learn it by ear or by tab or whatever.
Yeah.
Then get together and then play it until it's tight and presentable to go and play at somebody's wedding.
Yeah. You maybe get a chance if you're talking to someone who's doing a sort of acoustic on his own sort of thing of
Well, aye, I do that.
fudging your way through it a little bit.
Aye, I've done. I've
Two
done
chords.
That. I've done that as well in the heat of battle. Like, I don't really want to play this song, but there's like 18 of them and one of me.
Yeah.
Lads, I've got it. No, aye, I've had to do stuff like that before. But it's easy if you're just reading a chord sheet and you've heard the song a couple of
Yeah.
times.
Well, that's a sound to go. I reckon I could probably get my way through it. Is that bit? Is there another bit? Oh, what you mean? There's another bit apart from the bit where it goes. It's raining metal. I don't know. There's
Lads,
another
do you
bit.
remember where the key change and the fretless bass solo? Yeah, I could.
Aye, or whatever's in it. Aye. Do sort of it's raining men. Dun, 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 dun. Right, next bang. It's like what's that? There's an Elvis album that one of the live ones, and it's got the Colonel had worked out that you get more publishing rights the more songs you have on a record. So not only did they do the Madison Square Garden one from '72, has what I consider to be the first Cradle of Filth drums. It's because the actual concert was like, it's 60 minutes of music on a 48-minute record. So they just basically sped it up. So they played, Fortunate Son, Proud Mary.
Aye.
Da 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 da. Brrrr, up here, fuck, that's. I mean, it's because it's 1.5 times the speed. But they also did a bit where one of the records where they're just doing like trying to be good. We down Louisiana. Yeah, now we got. And it's literally just it's like 25 seconds of all these songs. It's Elvis singing them or not, but it was something to do with the more songs you could get on the record, the more royalties you got from that record. So it's got like 25 songs on the second side of this live album, and they're all 10 seconds long or 15 seconds long.
And is
one line.
What year was that? Because I was going to say, is this when, see, kind of towards the end when Elvis was like, see when you watch those live versions of Suspicious Minds, and it's like when he's doing the bit that just goes round and round. He has less and less breath every time he goes on. I got him. Oh, that. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing showmanship. He's fucking knackered, man.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem is there's so many Elvis live albums that look the same. There's so many Elvis albums that look the same. The ones, if you ever seen them in charity shops, one that say Victor in the corner are worth money. Are they? It says Victor on it. It's an original one on a. So I think what happens is an awful lot of all the rights get sold off to cheaper companies that put out various different versions of everything he's ever recorded, like a Hendrix type thing. Every note Hendrix ever recorded is available on record somewhere, even if it was recorded off an AM radio and there's no bass on the track or something. Still hear it.
Yep. Nice wee bit of natural relicking there.
Natural relicking.
It's actually, you can see almost between the layers there. What I like to do sometimes is hold that Les Paul up, and then I'll pull up an image of a Les Paul on reverb, and I'll say to the kids, I was like, is this the same guitar? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, not quite, kids. I was like, that one, you can get that. Oh, there's one on eBay for $60 right now. That one, yeah, 400 grand.
Yes.
That's a 59. It's not the same thing. I was like, you have to book an appointment just to go and stand near that.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Of all the guitar shapes in the world, the Les Paul's not my favourite. More strap. Just for the balance.
I like that though. That's not the same. That's kind. You could argue that's a Les Paul shape.
It's a Les Paul Jr.
That's a Les Paul Jr.
You know
Okay.
I can
There is
tongue
a
it.
distinction between a Les Paul Jr. and a Les Paul.
Aye.
Body and all that. That's not bottom.
It's actually kind of. I mean, it's not an entirely slab. It's got a.
Oh, that's what it does, huh?
Still thin and nice.
You know what it reminds me of though, and I have been referred to it as like. I made a joke and said like it looks a bit like a chick guitar. Like obviously I was being ironically chauvinistic. But what I mean is, don't you think it looks like those Daisy Rock? There's a model called the Daisy Rock Debutant or something.
Right, possibly,
and
yeah.
it's like a kind of a Les Paul with softened edges basically.
Right, aye.
So
There's one I saw Girls' School last year, and she had a. Is it called a Les Paul Vixen or something like that? Which is. Aye, it looked really good. It's only got two volume knobs on it. You're looking at it going, this looks a wee bit funny, but they look really good. And she snapped a string in the second song. So that to the other guitarist. Got a spare guitar? So that. I've got a spare guitar. So she fucking the poor girl who did take two guitars had to just fucking play. And the other one of them was a Les Paul, one was a Strat. So you'd imagine her set involved at some point using the Les Paul for these songs. She just had to play the whole thing on the Strat and not snap a string.
is nice.
Aye.
Very much like say obviously the same factory as the rest of these, the late hammer.
Aye, could be. Aye, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like bolt on neck doesn't have the tone. Bullshit.
Yeah.
The Les Pauls don't have the tone because they're caked and fucking finished though.
Yeah.
I've never played a Les Paul apart from the studio ones that didn't have the finish on them. That was totally.
I think the 50s ones probably don't know. They'll have that.
No, they've all got that dead feeling about the body. You don't really feel the guitar against you. If you better connection.
Yeah.
That was a very human sound there. It sounded like you were going. I don't think so. That sounded like that woman at the. We were away. We were camped in this campsite, like a car park up in the woods in Perth. And I was in a tent. He was in his camper van. I was in a tent outside. And just at 8 o'clock in the morning, just heard this voice going, "Excuse me, I think you'll find this is a non-camping car park." Did I just hear that? What
What kind of Monty Python sketch is this?
That exactly. I was like, what the fuck? But it was that noise. You see when you went, hey, it was that noise you started with. I think you're fine.
No, I instantly fell asleep again. I'm so disappointed. Such an opportunity missed fucking wearing out my campsite.
No, I genuinely, I think about 10 minutes later I got up and I was like, talking to you, I did that did happen.
Aye.
I didn't just dream that, because I just woke up like that.
Because even the dog was like,
Aye.
what the fuck was that? Was that real? Did that just happen? I don't know.
I wonder how far away she was.
Did you have a wee shot of this?
Yeah, I'm sure that is fucking.
Not since cheers. Not since
Those pickups are brilliant.
Yep.
Because I've got a Hello Kitty and the stock pickup. But that's that whole same idea when you've got a pickup guitar.
Aye.
I've got a Les Paul pre-Jim Nichols. Like an 80s one pop. Les Paul, it's only got a C the bridge and everything else. It's the only Les Paul that I actually like. The rest of them I just don't know. Gel with Les Paul.
I had like quite a few options of like guitars to bring down for talking points today, but I just thought that would be cool because that was one that you'd previously did a video and stuff on.
Yeah.
And it's just it's got mojo up the wazoo.
Well, do you know what it looks a lot? It's a lot like the Guild Starfire.
Well, that's Guild were the ones that had the Armand and then
the difference
Fender
with
bought
that is
them.
the difference, the distance between that and that. There's a version that's further away, and it's the guy at Soundgarden who uses it.
All right, so you get for that thing, but basically just there. Right, yeah.
Brilliant guitar.
I just mean for me it was just a case of the silliest things like that metal block. I mean that must be cheaper to make that than it is to get an actual tailpiece.
It works so well.
It works so well, and it, that it's just like these are the things that impressed me. The rest of it, obviously, if there was something wrong with it, but it wasn't it.
First one I came across was Uncle John had one. It's like the two pickups version of that one.
Yeah, you get an M65 and an M75 and stuff, and then the fancier ones are the ones that actually have the like the proper sought after the Armand pickup.
Right.
The gold foil ones. But I'm sure if you look up, those were basically when they were discontinued. I found this on forums and stuff. Apparently, that model was being sold in American guitar shops for $99.
Yes, I think I think it was 129. Was I heard that whenever I was looking up. But it's worth that now. How could it have been that new?
Well,
even the pickup that was in it wasn't a shitter. It was fine. You were right to do this anyway and have the extra switch. But even without that, there was a
it's
pickup.
funny if I do the single pickup thing, I kind of gravitate towards P90 rather than humbucker for some reason.
It's that in between land. It's so
It's
much nicer.
aye,
Isn't it?
not a fan of humbucker. It's clean.
No. I think there's. I always think it's like, see, if you've got like a Les Paul when you're faffing about with the two volume controls and the two sets of tones.
Aye.
Maybe that's how you play them clean. I've never really successfully done it, but I think maybe that's all the interplay between them and all. It was
tends to be I would always go with the middle sound on them, just to kind of it's the most single coily.
Yes.
Two humbuckers, one sounds more single.
Yeah, I do like even if it's like, to be honest, just wiring one of the pickups backwards so it's permanently out of phase. On a Les Paul would give you still get your bridge, still get your neck, but in the middle you've got your sort of, it's kind of going a bit more towards single coils. I keep getting guitars in, I've been doing it for years. It's like, oh, you've got a Strat, what can you do to this Strat? It makes it sound like Les Paul. As long as I've got Les Paul, what are you going to do to it? It makes it sound like a Strat. That seems to be the only two things. It's like up here,
It's just, again, because I'm kind of gigging with stuff that I need to play like themes of really assorted material.
Yeah.
I can't. I need a bit of both.
Yeah.
Although interestingly enough, I have gigged at, like, again, my Revstar, which is a P90 one.
Yes.
I'll do the entire gig on that. It's got the wee dry switch thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you need it, make it more funky than you can. But
I
I really
stole that.
want to play an entire gig with that.
You can put a dry switch on this, a push pull.
I don't even need to. I think.
I don't. I can't actually. See, because I'm sitting here and I'm pointing out where I can't actually hear this. I can't hear the difference between the difference between the things. Well, maybe I can.
If you go between the position 1 and position 3.
Yeah. So that's just.
Got a smokiness to it.
So it's basically just a high pass filter, isn't it? That's all it's doing is just running it through and taking away the bass rather than actually doing anything. Because there's not really much you can do with one coil.
I know, but that's a kind of a challenge. How many kind of usable noises can I get out of the one?
Yeah.
Because again, the original Esquire wiring has the third position on it is just deed sounding. It's,
well, I mean, that was in the original tellies as well.
yeah.
The original telly you got, what was it? You couldn't get both pickups on at the same time, was it? And so it was like you had the neck pickup with. I can't even remember. It's like what? It's like that's the one thing. It's like Leo got it all right first time. In so many ways he did, but that switch is stupid. Like it's like you don't get you can't have both pickups on, and you. I can't remember what exactly what it was. I think one of them was the.
No, we know tellies, but I've got 2 tellies and they're both at the road.
The problem is you're not going to find tellies and cash converters. You're not going to nobody's going to give you a telly for nothing.
There was a Squire, an Esquire, in Cashie's down here, and it was.
What the shop's like?
Oh, you're fucking
FMT or something. It was like a fancy Squire one.
Yeah.
And it was they had it for like $250 or something. I was like, I just can't justify this because I've got other guitars that do it. In terms of actually picking up guitars, I used to be able to get wee things in charity shops all the time, but that's kind of dried up. There's a big Bernado's charity shop that I know a guy that works in, so when he gets stuff in, he gives me a phone.
We should go there.
I need to find myself a charity shop that gives me a phone. You've got a charity shop that gives you a phone as well.
That's when I got 3 cased guitars for 30 quid.
Wow.
One of them's a pure Shanna, the other 2 were brilliant.
A really nice Jim Deacon and a wee Tanglewood tiny thing.
That's one of
Great.
the travel guitars, but it's actually surprisingly good. It's really nice.
That turquoise Les Paul, I mean, obviously I
Aye.
put a lot of time and work and
Aye.
very Jimmy Page wired bullshit into that. It was can you tell
Aye.
it was a stressful journey?
Oh, you told me. I was
Constantly texting him and Josie Warman, help!
Yeah.
Josie Warman's lovely though.
That's a
Aye.
nice guy. Yeah.
I don't know what they are. It was because of the. It turns out the schematic I'd used was wrong, and it didn't mention the fact it was a 50s wiring convention, and the Warman pickups have got a slightly different colour coding. So I ended up having like some of it was usable, but then when I went to when I coil split both pickups, it was giving me like both of these ones rather than what I wanted, which was both of them outside. So eventually, after a lot of thing, I managed to get it right, and then I've barely played the bloody thing since. I had 3 new guitars in. But it's like it does everything, and it's cool.
Yeah, I totally. You kept telling us. I try to help me. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I hate it. You said go and do Jimmy Page. Don't do that. Don't. It's a fucking nightmare. Don't do it.
Once is enough.
And he done it. I know that's what I was saying. And then I basically ended up fucking getting one in last week, 2 weeks ago, or something like that. Jimmy Page wire not working like that. Bastards. Punishment for me not helping you.
It's the only thing I would change about it if there was a way to do it was I don't really see the massive utility in having 2 separate coil splits, because at what point am I going to go right? I want it in the middle, but I want only the neck split. I would probably just rather have a master split so that I can.
When you've got so much options, the thing is that they're having the 2 of them. I've got my Schecter telly has that. It's got like 2 push pull pots. One splits that. One splits that. It's kind of nice. It is nice having like the neck humbucker and the bridge single coil, but you've got 2 volume controls and 2 tones and switchy between them, whereas so you get a bit more to it.
That's why I'm gravitating towards stuff like that, because it's just refreshingly minimalist.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the guitars I do with all this stupid wiring, I don't think I've really got any guitars that.
A bunch of guitars that are just that set up.
I decided for ages I wanted one. I was looking for them forever, and I was like, bro, 6 months. I'm going to get myself. And then I bought a Yamaha SE, which is actually really good. And then, like 3 weeks later, I had 4 or 5. They suddenly all just appeared. Like, bastard! I ended up buying a Washburn for $100. It's like, and then I got the Westone Raider for $100. So I ended up from thinking, I really quite fancy a Go. I haven't. I could actually. That's maybe when I built the Shocking Bird. I built the Shocking Bird because I wanted a guitar with one pickup in it.
To cleanse your soul.
Yeah. No, I need to. I brought the Shocking Bird up to yours last week. Forgot to take it out of the bag.
It's the most alive guitars. That setup.
Aye.
Especially got a really hot pickup in it. It's microphonic as fuck.
I think. I still want to know whether this has got like a full size coiling below it, because I've got I bought a guitar. It was a Washburn that had two of ones that the Chinese versions of the humbucker sized ones. So I was like, that'd be right. And I took the top out. It was like I was going to swap the tops over or something stupid. Took it up, but it was just a fucking. The coil's just the same size as a Strat inside there. On a bait.
It's got a lot more wines or something.
There must be something like that, but that's what I've got in that the Shocking Bird, the sort of Telecaster one. It's got actually one of these P90s in it.
That's a P94 copy, essentially.
I was just, I don't know, but then again, the ones I had were just could have just been absolute shanners. This might have a big bobbin.
Catalogue and look up the P94. The specs are just about the same.
Yeah. I think it's just a strength of magnet, type of wire, number of wines. That's kind of it, isn't it, really?
The shape of the bobbin as well, slightly different underneath.
Is it? I don't know. That's why I was a wee bit disappointed with that.
But it definitely sounds like a P90. I mean, when I put one into the Hello Kitty guitar, I was shocked at how good it sounded. How P90 it was, right between Strat and it's brilliant.
Next time I'll definitely, but you've seen that Webster when the time we took the music school I was working at the P90s. It's YGD, I don't know if it's Yamaha guitar design or something. The connection, just tremendous. I was using that when I was doing kind of theatre shows and stuff. Back gigs, I was taking that.
Quite a classy one. I mean,
It's such a creamy sound, isn't it? You add distortion to it. It doesn't sound brash on your ear. Like Strat pickups can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like humbuckers can.
I seem to be constantly skirting between things because one of the recent acquisitions was that I got a G&L
oh yes, aye.
ASAT Special, the C4, the surf green one.
It's not here, is it?
It's not here, unfortunately, because I got it. It is, the frets are a bit of a letdown on it. It's going to need a bit of work, and I got it in reverb. I think I got it for $270 plus the post and packaging, which was good. And when it arrived, I was like, yeah, brand new condition. And I turned around, there's a big bit of the paint has just been cracked off, and I was like, to be honest, the guy hadn't really packed it that tight. Like, I reckon there was just a bit of exposed arse on this guitar, and it's hit arse on the man. I kind of like quickly grabbed it, tried to kind of glue it back in. My rationale with kind of big gouges and things, it's like going in and culling it in with a marker. If it doesn't catch my eye, I'm not going to think about it a lot.
Yes, especially what's in the back of it.
But I ended up putting a bit of tape over this. It's a bit unsightly, so I'm really considering taking it to, what's the dude's name? He's in the old kind of Jimmy Moon workshop.
Someone was talking about.
He not Frettronics. It's the one that's that kind of.
I think Jimmy Moon's still open. The guys that work for him are still. Just Jimmy Moon's not there anymore.
He's apparently the guy to go to for proper cosmetic stuff like that. But then I'm like, forget that, and then I take it out and start digging it up at gigs and stuff like that. I should just leave it.
It's on the back though.
No, it's on the side, so I can see it, and no one else can. Taunting me.
Right. No. My pal's got an Epiphone Les Paul Jr. And he's had it like about 4 or 5 times. He keeps buying it and selling it for the last 20 years. And it's pretty much in mint condition. It's got one chunk. Right, see the bit where your arm is?
Yep.
Right there, and because it's the poly, it's pure scratchy, and it's just like on anywhere else on the whole of the body, better than right at the bit where your arm goes, right there. Annoying chips. I've got an annoying chip in my wee red Roadster.
I've got to do the lovely Telecaster, and I've managed to get 2 chips in there.
And then see what's worse is they were your chips as well, aren't they?
Yeah, well, no, one of them was my kids.
Yeah, but that means it wasn't already there when you bought it.
No.
I
actually got it off our Davey, Jade's dad.
Oh yeah, Dave's
He had no idea.
Right, well I think we should get going. But thanks very much for inviting us down. It's fucking great. I'm loving it.
I will do.
Yeah, do you ever play Skeletric?
Oh God, no! I've kept an eye in this saga. I don't.
No, we've got.
Slightly after my time.
It's a bit of a rabbit hole to fall down.
It's horrible. We just ended up talking about it. It was a couple of months ago. I was like watching. It was James May was doing some crap on YouTube. The longest track ever. It was like 10 mile long or something like that. I used to have a Skeletric. I used to have one as well. And then I found a fucking looking through shit in the attic. I tried to sell all the Skeletric stuff and I couldn't sell the car that was broken. So I had a car. I've got a car.
that was the watershed moment.
Yes,
See,
I've got to say.
And a similar thing. My daughter was 10 last week, which fucking made me feel the whole thing. Right, but like she said,
My son was 26 just yesterday. Day before yesterday. 27, sorry.
the
27, actually, aye.
there's weird resurgences and certain things happen again. So my daughter's 10, she's into Pokemon and Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, is this the 90s all over again? So for her birthday I had got her a Sega Mega Drive flashback. So it's like, it's HD,
Yeah.
it's got wireless controllers, you plug it into the telly with HDMI, and it's just got like 85 preloaded games on it. And so there's me sitting playing Mortal Kombat 3 with my 10-year-old daughter going, what the hell is it?
That's
I
good,
love
yeah.
stuff like that
Yeah.
because it feels like you're unlocking a wonderful bit of your childhood. I was like,
Memories.
aye, and then being able to kind of vicariously do all this as you're completely whooping your child's ass at some game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you're not going to learn if I don't go hard on you. I mean, to be fair, I did show her some moves. I was like, if you're
So
going to go,
rip your spine out and all that.
I did a Liu Kang fatality. There was a Liu Kang fatality where he just disappears and then a Mortal Kombat puggy falls on them, and she was really raging and she was like, Dad, that's not funny. It kinda is.
It sort of is.
Just dropped a puggy on him. It's like me breaking the fourth wall in joke. But yeah, it was cool because she was like, how did you learn these moves back in the day? And I'm like, good bloody, I think you just had to figure them out, or you get like a
magazines or something. I
I
don't
had the
Mortal Kombat's before after my
Aye.
time.
very early days of
Aye.
it.
We were watching, because she's into this kind of retro game stuff, there's a cracking Netflix documentary called High Score. It's all about the kind of gaming and console boom. And there's a bit in it. Now, what I'm about to tell you is verbatim, you can go and check it out, but you'll think I'm some guy havering and a boozer about this, right? There was like a World Sega Championship, and I believe it was Sonic 3
Right.
speed running. Do you know where they held it? Alcatraz. So they like got all these kids over, ferried them onto the island, and this gaming thing on Alcatraz, and it's just all these kids going mental inside it, and then like the guy wins, and then he jumps into like a vat of it's like, you know, like bank robber cash bags with the big dollar thing.
Aye.
He's just flapping about, and I'm like, this actually happened.
Yeah.
That's real. Wonderful.
It's still a thing. My son, he plays one of the games. What is it he plays? Can't even remember the name of the game. It's a fight game, but he's got a UK league. He's leaguing.
Alright, well.
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
Oh, Super Smash
Super
Bros.
Smash, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. 100 in the UK for it. Not anymore, but he was.
When my now fiance, soon to be wife in about 3 months, when we first got together, her son was playing Nintendo Switch, right? And he was like, Harvey was like 13 at the time, he's going to be like 18 soon, he's like 6'2", so I can't tell him to clean his room in, and he would just beat me up. I was like, he's like, do you want a game of Smash Bros? And I was like, yeah, cool. And I proceeded to like give him a bit of a whooping at it, and he was just sitting going, have you ever played this before? I was like, no. I played the N64 one for like 10 years and it's basically the same mechanics. And I gave him a big speech. I was like, it was like a something out of a Rocky film. It was like, what you taste right now is the bitter taste of defeat. What you need to do is rise up, crush your head. I was like, I want to see you putting the man hours into this, playing it. And then right enough, the next time I played it, he just slapped me off the map. And I was like, it's a stupid game anyway.
Yeah, it's alright. Just you got to do the Homer, the Bart Simpson thing. Is like as soon as this Homer learnt how to do it, it's like, I just retire undefeated. Bye, retired.
It's not cool anymore. Now that Dad's playing it.
It's just too
Right.
perfect as well.
Yes, right.
Let's get on.
That one's definitely coming back up the road.
That's a lovely
Oh
one.
yeah, lovely.
Aye. They're going to stick the bass amp back in the live room because there's a band in like 2 hours.
My kids.
This isn't going really well, is it? Right, so that's us no longer. We've just left Taylor's studio in Kilmarnock. And now I'm going back over dubbing again, jumping in while I'm editing it to say that's the end of part 4. There might actually be 6 parts now. Part 5 is we're going to go to Andy Neon Tetrahedron's house, which I think is about 20 minutes long, which is probably how long one of these episodes should be. I know they're all over the place. That's part of the fun. It's live, isn't it? Sort of. Live and really amateurish. And when I say editing, I was saying I don't like it. When I say editing, I mean sticking all the videos end to end and putting these stupid bits and dividing it up. Not actually editing. That I don't know how you do that. You must need something better than Windows Movie Maker. So, what did I say there? That was the end of part 4. So now we're going into part 5. soon. I can't even remember already. Anyhow, again, thanks for not unsubscribing and disliking it, and not disliking it. Rock on. Cheers.